Come on, Gobi. Hey, can we walk? I think I've struggled with mental health issues my whole life. It kind of came to the forefront when I was in middle school. I started dealing with some anxiety-type symptoms, panic symptoms, feelings of sickness and worries about my health and getting sick. I eventually found my way to a therapist. It wasn't really the focused treatment that I needed at the time, so I continued to struggle with my mental health. I began to struggle with some depressive symptoms, some issues with self-harm and suicidality. It was in the spring semester of my freshman year of high school that my family discovered Rogers. And at Rogers, I was able to get specialized treatment for what I now know to be my OCD and somatic symptom disorder. I am very afraid of death and dying. I think that's kind of my core fear. I still struggle every day with somatic symptom disorder, OCD, depressive symptoms. However, I have come to a place where I am more accepting of my condition. I'm more able to work through things thanks to a lot of the skills I learned in treatment and in outpatient therapy as well. One thing I experienced in treatment at Rogers was experiential therapy, which is an activities-based therapy. I was able to face some of my fears in a way that was a little bit fun. So for me today, some things that help me are getting outside and doing adventure-based activities. I've actually been skydiving recently, and I plan on doing many more things like that. I want to try paragliding, hang gliding, and scuba diving. Our family's economic privilege to be able to have access to that mental health care, and a lot of people don't have that. And as I'm a member of the LGBTQ+ community, I feel especially lucky to be able to have access to mental health care and to have a supportive family, because a lot of minorities, including the LGBTQ community, struggle to have equal access to quality mental health care. And Rogers has always been completely encouraging of my identities and supportive in helping me come out to my family. Something I'm grateful for is the fact that my parents have been open and accepting of my mental health issues and have helped me as a child, as an adolescent, to seek out that quality mental health care and treatment that is open and affirming to my identities as well.
Angelina's situation came on quite quickly, and having been a police officer for many years, it was, for me, hard because as a police officer, you're always, in a situation where you're being called somewhere because you need to fix the problem. But when it happened in my own home, I felt helpless. And I felt like, well, I'm a police officer. I can work with other people to fix their problems, but how am I going to do it for myself? And so it really made me think differently about mental health and our society and how it impacts, people and families.
Many people go without those resources, and we're grateful that we have them and that we have access to them near in our backyard, practically, very near to where we live.
One of my life goals is to be a mental health advocate, to destigmatize mental illness. The Semicolon Project is kind of this idea that semicolon sort of represents in writing where an author may have chosen to end a sentence, but they decided to continue it by placing a semicolon. And the idea sort of is an analogy that transfers over to life, where someone may have wanted to end things in their life, but they choose to keep going. So that's the semicolon tattoo that I have, just to kind of help remind me of the fact that even when times are hard, I don't want to give up. The LGBTQ community and LGBTQ youth are more likely to struggle with things like anxiety, depression, and other mental health disorders, and suicidal thoughts and suicide attempts, just because of things like bullying and discrimination. And I just want to send out a message of hope. Things can get better and that we can work through our fears. I hope in the future to complete my bachelor's degree in psychology and eventually go to grad school for mental health counseling. I'd really like to work with youth with things like anxiety, OCD, and health-related anxieties as well.
She's just a shining light in the world, and I think she's going to make a great influence on a lot of people's lives, and she already has.
Treatment has helped me so much. Rogers has helped me so much. I just hope to one day be able to help others and give back like people have helped me.